Beijing of the PGL Asia Minor 2017. The road to the Krakow Major starts right now. Of course, North America to come, EU on the way as well, and of course the final offline finals before we find out the 16 teams that will fight it out for the 2017 PGL Krakow Major. Long time to go before then, and we're well into our Asia Minor second day Group B. The final match is now upon us. It's a rematch once more, and the opportunity potentially to have more teams in the semi-final exactly the same way as it went down in Group A. A Chinese team and an Australian and New Zealand. But standing in their way right now are a team that do not want to give up. They've shown they've got some fight in them, and the Mongols have come through after a 2-0 victory in the lower bracket. We're back with our panel members once more. Blair's back with us. So is Natu as well. The return of Natu.
He's back.
As the production have said to me.
One man.
One man.
One desire.
One fin.
Oh, God.
Yeah. he's mildly tired, but he's had a rest. So are you feeling all right, old man?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah,
a bit of a
you
nap,
good?
you know.
Yeah, have an old man's afternoon nap, did you?
And then a cup of tea afterwards, eh?
You've become so British since the Four Kings days. We're going to get into this, the game, Blair. Was the game we said was going to be close earlier on, and it was. Do you expect the same thing again from a best of three?
Yeah, I think this is going to go down to the third map pretty easily. Depends on. I think the map picks are in, and I think both the teams don't really have that deep of a map pool. So I think both of them are going to win their own map picks, and it's really going to come down to the decided map. But the Mongols, just looking at the way they just showed up right now, it is 7-6-4-2, so that's there. But if you look at Inferno,
they played okay though, didn't they?
PDC played incredibly well.
He did play very well.
You got to give credit where it's due. But overall, like Cabal, some of those one taps, like their aim is really on point right now. And this is the Mongols that used to be the bane of Australians like a year back. So can
Bane of Australians.
Yes.
the bane of Australians,
yeah,
you know?
the bane.
So
the
can
bane.
Immunity come back? I don't know, because everyone's stepping up. Cabal, Machine, NCL, Dobu. So everyone's having those, those rounds. And even if you look at the final scoreline, there wasn't like anyone who was like on 30 kills or something like that. Everyone had equal number of kills. They had their moments. Everyone's really going off on all cylinders. They look really warmed up right now.
Yep.
And I think that's got to be a little worrying factor for Immunity.
Yeah, Dobu had two The Mummy MVP awards during that last matchup as well. So I guess he's well on his way to becoming Tom Cruise on the way for him. But in terms of the team that they match up against, haven't played a huge amount. Like the Mongols have got that extra best of three they've just played, which surely would help them. But as the boys made a great point of before the break, these Immunity boys have had the chance to sit there and watch them and figure out where they're strong and where they're weak.
Yeah, now it's going to be interesting. Just speaking of the vetoes, are they going to take out overpass off the equation? That's a question. Easier usually for the team that's lost it to play it and try to fix the mistakes. Especially if you look at that game into the details, it was a very close match. It came down to like who made less mistakes.
Yeah.
It wasn't that very tactical. It was more about just individualistic plays from both sides and mistakes happening. So in that sense, both teams play a very raw style of Counter-Strike to begin with, and they don't seem to be that far apart from individual skill either. So I think this could be a very interesting brawl in terms of just, as you said, going down all the three maps.
Yeah, and the interesting thing for us as well is that it's fun to watch, not the prettiest. If you're a technical Counter-Strike fan, you're not going to enjoy this too much, I guess. But from our point of view, as neutrals, watching it and just like, oh, who's going to win this round? It's really exciting.
Yeah.
Do you expect that to carry on again?
100% sure. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be something like the Olaf boost, the coming of the Olaf boost. Like something remarkable.
I think people might
happening.
argue that wasn't necessarily a good thing.
Well, you know what I mean. It's something like that's just out of the box. 100%.
Not inventive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to see mistakes happening again. A lot of close rounds. Where individuals are going to make some great plays, and that's exciting. Exactly, it's not something. It's not a coach's dream. It's quite the opposite. It's a nightmare of a coach.
Yeah.
But from a spectator point of view, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Absolutely. Like I was casting the previous game, I had a blast. Just some of the shots coming out from.
Yeah, I'm surprised either of you got any hair left after that last game. Just like, God, it's horrible. I can't watch anymore.
I'm pretty frustrated as well. But here's the thing: if Immunity go just for the raw aim duels right now, the way Mongols seem really warmed up, I don't think that's that's a right way to go about it.
Yep.
They are known for playing a little bit more tactical style compared to most of the Asian teams. So I would expect them to at least try and have a semblance of a structure the way they're going to approach Mongols. They saw them in Trade, they saw them in Inferno, they saw them in Overpass. You have something to work with. Try to counter them on that. But if you just go toe for toe, firepower-wise, I think Mongols have the edge. The way they're going off right now, it's scary.
Okay, let's bring up the vetoes, because I'm hearing that the teams are ready, so we can take you through the vetoes right now. Mongols removed Nuke, Immunity removed Mirage. Mongolz have picked Inferno this time round, and Immunity have gone with Overpass, perhaps no surprise there. And if we get a third map, we'll be heading off to Cobble. What do you make of that?
I mean, Overpass now, Immunity picking it up, and they lost against it against the Mongols on it, right? So, I mean, that's an interesting pick.
Yeah. Well, firstly, Mongolz picking Inferno is like little interesting from my angle because they know that Immunity will be watching what they did. But then again, Mongolz didn't really show anything.
I was going to say, there wasn't anything crazy in there, was there?
It was some just basic stuff. They out-aimed, out-fragged 7642.
And picking up 10 on T side helped them, didn't it? Because it meant that they didn't really have to show them anything.
Yeah, it's more like it's more like 7642, not really showing anything up, which helped Mongolz out. So I think it's a reasonable pick. Overpass getting picked by Immunity again, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, because it was so close. It was so many. It's like it was a bit of a like just you pop a coin in the air and see what happens type of a thing, right? Both teams were playing so raw. I mean, Immunity maybe they had like slight little things they were doing in order to beat bomb site, but you need to have more structure. I feel like on that map, there's so many things you can do, make it harder for your opponents to really play that map on the city side, especially.
All right, we're going to get more from you in just a moment. I'm hearing that the players are feisty this afternoon. They want to get involved. They want to get going. So we are going to head over to Beijing for game number 1 in our final match of Group B.
Thank you very much, Paul. Yeah, we're rearing to go. I'm sure the players are too. We're going to find out which of these teams goes home and which team progresses through to the next stage. There has to be a winner, of course, in this best of 3. Inferno Overpass Cobblestone. I agree with Blair. I can see this going maybe down to the third map, right down to the wire.
Yeah, I mean, if you base it off of what it looked like earlier today when these two teams played against each other, I mean, a 16-13 game on that Overpass, certainly you expect this to be a tight race. And we're going to be on Inferno, which, again, coming into this tournament, Mongolz, it wasn't like it was at the top of their map pool, but they obviously just pulled off a nice win against 7642 there. And we saw Immunity, on the other hand, really struggle against Tyloo. Again, I can't help but remember those 2 rounds where they missed a smoke on CT spawn trying to attack B, and those 2 rounds were like so pivotal in that loss to Tyloo in the winners match in the best of ones. And again, it's important to also note for Immunity that they, up until that loss to Tyloo, they had never played this map in an official match setting since Wizard came on board. So the familiarity as a full 5 may not really be there. So this should be interesting how it plays out. But this is a great start. Burn just getting that headshot real easy on the machine gun over at Banana.
And that's a big scalp to take right off the bat, as he has been consistently one of their go-to players. Sure, Dobu's been getting a lot of the plaudits and the credits, but Machine Gun's been chugging along. Burn's going to get in with a second kill, about to be aggressed on, has to turn tail and run away, waiting for the rest of his team to funnel their way over from the A side. He may very well have bought up enough time. He's going to land himself yet another one, and he's still alive for a 4th. What is happening here? He's actually able to go in for the ace, but Gratisfaction takes it away from him. A 4K, nobody falling from Unity. That's one hell of a way to kick things off.
Yeah, I mean, that was just precision aim here from Burn. It starts off with this aggressive peek down Banana, trying to make an intel play, gets a kill out of it, sticks around to find a whole heck of a lot more, and then finding the right time to drop back into the site and basically finish the job himself. Didn't really need much assistance to put this one in the bag, so good way to kick things off if you're Immunity. Again, we had Tyloo come through first seed, and it was really a toss-up on who would come second seed out of this. And, I mean, getting off to a good start definitely will be great for Immunity. They got to find their way past this forest buy, however. We've seen a lot of scrappy games due to these Tech 9s.
Indeed we have, and that's a pretty rough way to start things off. Sogu straight through the Tech 9, 2 headshots as he brushes aside 2 of those A defenders. Only one remains, which is Wizard, and he's given up the chase for the time being. Going to wait again for his team, one of which is pushing down Banana. That's going to be Burn and Urcast through on Library. So it's going to be a 3-pronged retake. Very separate angles. If they can get the cohesion going, it's going to work nicely. Sogu just charges straight round the corner into a death. NCL comes back swinging, though, with one of his own, leaving Wizard with the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he will crumble. Mongolz, they've done it. They've gone in with the pistols, and they've broken Immunity.
Yeah, it's like deja vu from their best of 3 against 7642, where it felt like on both those maps we saw teams winning second round or just, you know, putting an early stop to getting a 3-0 start. And this is going to be no exception to the rule. And it's going to be the decision on Immunity now. Do they force buy right back up and just try to play this economic game of chicken? And it looks like that is going to be the case. Max 7 out on Moe, armor on everyone, even head armor on 3 of the players, and a lot of upgraded pistols in the mix. So definitely looking to fight right back, and it's going to be this way probably until one team can string together 2 in a row and finally force their opponent to concede, which Mongolz has that chance to do so right now. As if this doesn't go well for Immunity, they'll be forced to tap out and give Mongolz a bigger lead.
Yeah, whenever you get into these wars of attrition, typically the terrorists will prevail, as of course the economy is much more favorable to them over the CTs, and Immunity have very little to play with, in all honesty. Just a Mag 7, a couple Deagles, 5.7, CZ.
Yeah. You can see they're trying to play up close on apartments and try to put, you know, the close range battles at the forefront, you know, trying to get the most out of what they were able to pick up. And certainly playing up close on apartments is one way to do it. Unfortunately for them, it looks like it's going to be entirely bypassed, as Mongolz really do just like to gather mid, do these 1-4 type plays, and this will be right in tune with that, as we do see them gearing up any moment now to strike.
Yeah, Moe was shoulder peeking with the USP, which of course has a longer range headshot potential than the Mag 7, but now that he's spotted some prey, he is going to hide in close. If they walk into his crosshair, this could start to get messy. He's unfortunate not to get the outright frag there, but will get one before dropping, and that could be enough. It's a 4-on-2. 30 seconds left, and the T's are piecing out. They want to go back towards the B site, where Burn will be waiting for them. And if that pistol round was any indication of how good his aim is, these Deagle taps could be landing on the mark. And there's the first one. It's a headshot. It's overkill. He will get instantly traded out by Cabal, who's been doing significant work with the AK all day. He actually fakes the bomb to start things off, assuming someone's in construction. They are now. At least he's finalized the bomb plant. He has a Molotov and he has a flash. Neither of them are going to see too much out of this round. It's going to be a defuse and Immunity right back in, knocking Mongolz down.
And you have to bet that, given the way that this usually works out, where people just keep force buying until one gets 2, and the fact that Mongolz got a bomb plant, they're probably going to force right back up, I would imagine. So we're going to keep going tit for tat until someone breaks. And now Mongolz even have more to put into the force buy. They'll be able to get the UMP on machine gun. In fact, they pass him an AK. So 2 AKs out. There is 1 UMP that someone's going to pick up on this team, from what I saw. So they'll have, you know, 2 rifles, 1 SMG, a couple Tech 9s. I guess it'll be NCL who picks up the UMP, since there's 2 Tech 9s on Sogu and Dobu. Yeah, that's going to be the case. So let's see what they want to come up with. They also have a fair amount of utility to put into play as well. So that bomb plant really did net them a lot more options in this force buy, make them a bit more dangerous to deal with if you're Immunity.
Yeah, they've got to put the disappointments of the previous round in the back of their minds. Basically, a Mag 7 bested them alongside pistols. So 3 players on A, 2 on B, as you'd expect. Urcast, though, does go up for the boost. Machine gun's not far off. And he's got a nade out. Machine gun's going to land the headshot onto Burn. Urcast is going to just stay here. It's an angle you don't expect someone to be stood in. And in doing so, will at least get the avenging kill before backing on off. That peek could have got him killed, though, seeing as he's already been dropped low. So that was a bit dangerous, but now it will be smoking and hiding in there, looking for the spam through the smoke. Nothing will connect.
Yeah, he's trying to make a play, because being in a 4-on-4, excuse me, is very unsettling as a CT. So you're thinking about trying to make a play, especially since he's alone. But he will eventually retreat into the side. He's going to get a bit of a rotation from Moe here coming soon, though Moe still wants to kind of keep his eye on Archway, you know, put a slight stack towards A little bit more of a gamble in that direction. But he will be in a position to rotate soon enough. But Aircast just needs to buy as much time as he can. He does have a flash, maybe to help slow things down. But he's really passive, just waiting to see if they cross sight. And Moe does catch Arch. They were trying to do a mid-B split, and he catches that end of it. Now he begins to rotate, so this might be okay for me. They had the man advantage, but now it's gone.
Cast using the off angle. They line up through him, and he knocks them down. Running in 1 by 1. No one checking their right-hand side. Well played by him, but Mongolz, they had that round in the palm of their hand after getting the kill on the CT side.
It really hurt them that they didn't have a smoke for CT spawn, or if they did, they didn't throw it. And so they got into a bit of a fight with Moe's rotation, and that kind of took their attention. They gave Aircast a chance to line them up. And so that will be Immunity making it 3-1. And so now finally Mongolz have to concede. They have to take a save. And this is where Immunity can start building up their bank, start building up that lead even more. And it would be great for them to get a good start, because obviously it's haunting them what happened against Tyloo earlier today on this map. And so this definitely seems to be a little bit brighter, as they are going to go ahead and go for a lean towards A here. Just 1 CT playing deep on bottom banana. It's going to be Burn, are you okay? But now he'll begin the retreat.
Eerie silence falls on the battlefield. Just the noises of grenades pluming out in mid. That's a smoke that's been deployed by the CTs, and out charges Dobu. Very nearly catching Wizard off guard. He did get dinked down to just 4. I mean, it is ultimately a throwaway round. You're not expecting much for Mongolz, and Burnout UK is pretty much just putting them in their grave. No deaths from Unity in this round. Going to do the world of good to their economy.
I wonder if they're going to keep doing that 1-4 setup, because there was this famous thing, I know this goes in the Counter-Strike Source at least, that Juan Source came up with. People will know Juan. He used to play for 3DNY and Counter-Strike Source. And he's actually Heather Mom's brother, you know, Heather the Sapphire, the Observer. And he kind of talked about it in front of the drop 2 setup, where you have a player Arch library, and then you have 2 players like Pit Site, and you have 1 Banana. And the whole point is that as long as you maintain control of construction, the 2 players that are Arch library can make a really fast rotate to B. So you have 3 there. As soon as you see that smoke CT spawn, you basically are going to have 3 in the area to defend. And you get to do a slight lean on the A side, which is like can sometimes be the more popular side to hit. And you have like really fast rotation potential. And so you'll see that kind of use sometimes. And we'll actually see Immunity this time around do a little bit of a triple stack at Banana, and they will again push Burn deep. He's able to line up some, doesn't get as much as I thought he would, but he gets a kill and a little bit of damage on a couple of players.
Yeah, the timing there honestly could not have been worse from Unity, because Urcast had just pulled the smoke out and thrown it the second he got peeked. So it wasn't even a case that a crossfire was being established. It was fairly toothless at best. Mongolz, though, going to try and make the most of that early pick. 2 players still over on B. It's giving them a lot of real estate through mid. They haven't managed to penetrate through yet onto the site itself, but there's plenty of time to do just that. They're going to take the bomb back towards Banana here.
Yeah, they have Dobu just posted up at brackets. He's got a player in apartments as well. So the semblance of a default of at least having control of brackets and apartments, but in a 4-on-4, you can't really have as much presence at Banana while also maintaining the other stances, and you will actually see them now even come back up to mid. And so it seems like they're going to look to try to attack themselves and wrap into the archway. They're running out of time, so they need to move quickly here. Moe does have the angle.
Riley's faction could be in the thick of the action here, but instantly put down. Wizard can't get it done either. Moe on the site, so many different angles to watch out for. He's picked up 2 kills. Is he good for any more? Yes, he is. Single-handedly holding off the bomb. A 4K. Awesome individual effort. And the pause has been called.
Yeah, I mean, you've been seeing a couple of those. Obviously, Burn Are You OK had the big individual effort in the pistol round to win it with the big quad kill, and now you have Wizard. You can see what he was thinking of. He had those 2 people wrapping. He's like, all right, I'm going to spray those 2, try to do a sick transfer. Didn't really work out, but Moe was inside the site the entire time, and even though he winds up just getting the quad kill and straight up winning off of that, the other big thing there was the clock. I mean, Moe just needed to get a couple and stay alive and probably still wins because Mongolz just ran out of time. And so, you know, they felt forced to keep pushing Moe, even though he was holding the angle. They didn't have a choice, and Moe does deliver. And this is a great start from Immunity. They're up 5-1. They have Mongolz up against the ropes when it comes to their economy. And so they have a chance to keep this rolling for at least another round or 2 before Mongolz can really get their money back in order. And you can see that in this timeout, it feels like they were thinking to themselves, okay, how much money can we spend this round to give ourselves a chance to win, but make sure that we don't hamstring ourselves for the next round. We can still get a nice full buy in round number 8. And so you do see the effects. It's just going to be some upgraded pistols and limited utility.
Yeah, they have 4 rounds of lost bonus, so they should be good to go with AKs in the next round. Burn UK with 2. One of the downfalls of the M4A1S has 10 less bullets than its counterpart, and he could have done with them there. Machine gun picks up the fallen M4 from the hands of the CTs. That flashbang was on point to hit, I believe that was Gratisfaction, but not Moe, who will mop up that hit. So here we go. Full AK-47s, enough funds left for a full purchase of nades. But they've got to start converting these rounds, Dust, because there's quite a few now that have slipped through their fingers. And keep in mind that they broke the economy of Immunity super early on after winning that second round.
And some of those things where they've been like pretty even frag distribution, but usually it's meant, you know, they're all like in the high teens or 20s. Right now, everyone is equally not winning out their duels as often as they were in the previous series, and what their firepower can usually do when they're playing teams in this region. As we are seeing them with the AKs out, full utility. A little bit of a fight going on here for top Banana, but it's going to be Immunity who pushes them back, and now with that smoke, they'll even get to logs. They've constantly done this. I feel like Mongolz have never really had the ability to do much early around at Banana. They've been constantly cut off and filtered over here to middle, or they will once again take up stance and push Gratisfaction back into the CT spawn.
The flash not working for the terrorist this time around. Gratisfaction does have to run back through the smoke towards the safety of his teammates. And now they're going to stomp right back out of library once again. Urkas with 2. Oh, it's looking so poor for Mongolz. No kills once again. And we're moving into the 9th round, and they've only picked up 14 kills between their entire team. That's simply not good enough.
No, not at all. They're really struggling to get much out of here. I mean, short of, you know, getting that 2nd round win to kind of force that scrappy start to the half, there's been nothing else there for them. Aircast has done a really great job rotating back and forth. He used to actually be an A player back when Destiny was still on the team on the CT side, but now with Wizard on board, you've actually been seeing him kind of drift around and at times really like look to stack over here at B. And at times even he's the one to stick around while someone else rotates. This time though, Machine Gun finally gets up top and he's able to get 2 entries. This could finally be what Mongolz needs.
Yeah, picking up without the required flashbang. Gratisfaction has a huge task ahead of him. Nearly plucks out 1 player. Will get the spray through the coffins. Looking to back the nade into oncoming traffic, but Mongolz, although tagged up, is still alive enough to push onto the site. Gratisfaction, who started things off with one of the only kills from Unity, is now all that remains. And he's residing in construction. Another frag goes his way, and Mongolz have already let a couple of these rounds go astray, so they're not even going to bother trying to trade off against him. They have their sights on A, and they will get a bomb plant. Now it's up to Gratisfaction if he wants to go for this retake, which of course I'm sure he will. I mean, the economy is pretty solid on a couple of the players. I mean, they've got over 12K.
He's also against 2 players who are both very low on HP, and they don't have any utility really to put a stop to him. So with the fact that he has a kit and HP advantage, this is definitely a doable 1v2. As he is edging his way through library, trying to see what he can sniff out.
I believe that Sogu did just tap out a second ago with a bullet which gave his position away, but Gratisfaction not expecting the 2nd player to be in graveyard. Mongolz will get themselves around, but it's a great cost. 4 players dying means that they're going to have to go through all their savings here, and that round loss bonus has been reset.
Yeah, it's kind of a 50-50, right? When you're wrapping around Moto and you're in a 1v1, as you cross Graveyard, you also have to be thinking about pre-aiming the site itself, like all the different boxes and such that's taking place in there. So that means that you're either going to have to, you know, check Graveyard and expose yourself to site, or expose yourself to Graveyard. And so, unfortunately, he kind of loses that coin flip. No harm, no foul, though. Immunity do have plenty of funds, as you said, to still buy back up into this. And they still have a great lead to work with. And they could reset Mongolz right here and now. That's a great way to kick it off. Gratisfaction taking down Sogu in the window room.
Big opening pick, isn't it? And he's able to survive long enough to get back to the site. Sure, he's low, but he has the AWP. All he needs to do is thread 1 more shot. And that could be the round done and swept away. Mongolz, 2 rounds, 2 very lonely rounds in this first 9 rounds of play. Are they going to strike again in 10? Bomb going back towards Banana again, but Burn, are you okay, is laid in wait. And he has backup as well, in the form of Urkast, who is actually starting to dart away, so this could be the moment they strike.
All I can think of when you say Burn, are you okay, is Addy, are you okay? That's all I can do. I don't know why, but they had this boost up a minute, which hasn't been used yet this game, and this is a very tricky angle to clear, especially if CT Spawn can pull attention. Even if you put the smoke down, you can still put spam through, and you can still maybe take your focus, or maybe you're checking Coffin, where Ericus is going now, and that means that, you know, Burn just lines them up. And they're running out of time, so they have to commit.
Up on the boxes is Burn, are you okay with a kill? That flashbang destroys all the terrorists. And there was a few seconds there where you thought the Mongols had it in their favor, but now they are completely broken down. It's going to be another pause. A couple players on 1,400.
Yeah, again, that boost is just so hard to deal with. And that's a great pop flash. Just bounces right off the silo. Everybody's just full blind, dancing around like nothing or something like that. Just way out there. No chance. Easy frags. And so Mongols are left reeling once more. The money's so low. I mean, even though they did get something going there for a couple of rounds. They've had to do a lot of rebuying, and in fact, it just means they've been reset again is the biggest thing. And while it's not as crushing as having your money reset as a CT, it's still pretty damning. I mean, at this point, you definitely can't get out any AKs or anything like that, so it's going to have to just be, wow, they're actually just going to full out force, like UMPs and everything. I thought maybe they would do like a lighter one and then still have maybe a potential for full buy next round, but no, they're going to go for it.
I think generally the cutoff point for terrorists is about $2,000, and there was a couple at $1,400. So they realized even if they did eco, the chances are they're going to have like a couple UMPs in the next round anyway, or a couple of Tech 9s. And so because it's 8-2, they're like, screw it, let's just go. Let's just go for broke. Now, collectively, Mongolz just don't have that many kills. I mean, we've said this a couple of times already. Typically, when everyone's on around the same frags, you're thinking, okay, well, it's all even, they're all pulling their weight. But no one's really doing anything. There isn't that standout player that's carrying his team, that is making the plays out of nothing. It's just going by numbers. Dobu is going to get himself a kill in apps with the only weapon, the primary that they have, which is a UMP. But can they capitalize off this dust?
Yeah. I mean, it'd be great if they could try to get that AWP that you put into use, but probably not going to be the case, as Immunity do have a lot of focus. But it's definitely going to be an apartments explosion. There can be somebody here to pop flash pit from middle to help them get out. The popular play you see a lot of teams doing on Inferno, and that's what the Mongolz are looking to go for. But they're going to have to run out dry. There is no one there to flash them out.
It's into the embracing arms of Moe, who's odds-on favorite to get 2 kills from his position. Dobu with another one. An AWP has been picked up, and Cabal's going to make it work. Both of the remaining players are in pit. They have control of the bomb. But now it's all on Dobu. And they know he's around this area as well. He's going to be looking to push him with his UMP. Gets the drop on Wizard. This is a much-needed round. It would be a steal after the force buy came through. Already with 3, can Dobu go 1 better? He's going to peek up, and he's going to get in on Burn. Are you okay? And that's a trade he did not want. 9-2 now.
Yeah, I mean, you would think to yourself, hey, at least they got a lot of guns down. They force a lot of rebuying. The problem is there's just so much money in Immunity that you doing that type of economic damage isn't really like some type of standing impact, especially since you can't follow it up with anything in this round, right? I mean, this is, you know, a round where some of these guys are going to be just on Glocks. In fact, 3 of them will only be on Glocks. So this should be double digits for Immunity now, and they're, again, just steamrolling through the first half of Inferno thus far. Now, you haven't even really seen signs of Mongolz having a shot to really construct rounds on this terror side. Most of these rounds have been, you know, fairly dominant from Immunity.
Yeah, it has to definitely make you a little bit weary. And this is Mongol's choice of map, and they are being battered so hard early stages. Hyper-aggression up banana. Can almost feel the confidence coursing through the veins of Immunity. 10-2. Is up against an eco, but they've dealt with it expertly. Full AK's back in again.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what Mongolz can do here. I mean, a lot of their play is mostly default and just trying to give Machine Gun rooms to make plays, and you've definitely seen him in different areas of the map. They haven't really had the economy to ever try to get an AWP into play, because sometimes Machine Gun will do that as well to try to throw something in there, but that hasn't really been there. I feel like they've been bogged down a lot. Like, usually they like to just be very explosive, and you've seen them mostly play slow rounds, like default, let's get mid control, let's get apps. Haven't really seen that great play, but Machine Gun, he able to get an entry at B, and remember, he got a couple entries on B in one of the rounds that they actually won, so hopefully this can be something that is kind of the catalyst for them to get something else on the board.
This is going to draw over Guy's faction from A, which will leave A fairly vulnerable. They are going to react accordingly, as you'd expect. Putting players fairly passively onto the site. Immunity can't afford to lose any more players. And Burn, are you okay? Every trade seemingly just going his way. Doesn't matter how he peaks. Doesn't matter if he's playing passive-aggressive. Everything lands. Sogu, straight through onto Moe. Pressure mounting now. 55 seconds to go. Mongolz are going to look to get a move on. They don't want to leave this down to chance. Wizard, prime position to strike. He's going to get one. Throws over the incendiary. That's going to stop the avenge kill coming for the time being. Allows Gratisfaction to tee off on a couple players. He's going to land 2, and he's not able to get a 3rd, but that was so incredibly close. And it thinned out the herd so much that we're into another 1v1. Now, Burn, are you okay? His duel percentage win must be insanely high.
He's got a kit as well, so that buys time. Meanwhile, you see that this guy from Mongolz isn't really sure where the CT is, so there's a lot of mind gaming going on here. But Burn's going to get in a great position. You'll probably hear him jump out at some point. Or just catch him midair.
8 seconds. Mongolz have to go for the plant. At least he's evened up the HP. Throws in the smoke. This is going to give NCL a chance to actually hide. But again, Burn, are you okay? Comes out ahead. And how many chances do Mongolz need to get some clutches going their way? This is getting ridiculous now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that smoke was actually for, but I'm not sure what the aim was. But either way, I mean, it was a low HP situation for Burn. He did get some midair damage, though, as the guy jumped off balcony. That helped him out in the final fight in the end. Great work from Wizard and Gratisfaction as well to even give him a chance to get a 1v1. You know, they were playing down a lot of that round, but they were still able to get enough kills, and eventually Gratisfaction won a couple of really key duels inside the site, so that means Immunity up 11-2, and now Mongolz, another round where it's just going to have to be aim reliant because the utility's not really there. I mean, they do have 4 smokes, so they can do like your basic coffin, CT spawn smoke and hit B, or typical stuff to maybe wrap around middle, but I mean, these guys are still stuck on T ramp. Like, what is this? They just seem so timid. When you think about how explosive they usually are, it's just not there. You see none of that, the roots of their aggression coming through in this game.
Yeah, and you have to feel that plays into the wheelhouse of Immunity. You're happy enough just to play deep and passive. You know, I've seen them switch styles a couple times and go aggressive, but that's been the exception to the rule. Oh, that is just adding salt to the wounds, isn't it? Machine gun around the corner, into a spray through smoke in the face. Get bodied. And it's gone from bad to worse as Wizard comes through with a double. He's down to 19. Across the board, in every conceivable manner, Mongolz are being outplayed. NCL will get the kill. Pretty handy work through the smoke, but again, he will fall prey to the AWP Gratisfaction. Narrowly misses out. Cabal may very well get his man. In fact, he's not even going to do that. Plucked out of thin air, 12-2. And even 3 rounds, probably not good enough, to be completely honest.
Yeah, no, they've just taken way too much damage in this half. Again, it's just so uncharacteristic of Mongolz to just look this timid. I don't know if it's the pressure's getting to them that they're so far behind, but they're not really playing to their strengths. Like, I haven't seen any of this explosive play I'm used to. Like, I've seen so many times where they'll just, you know, gather mid and just explode up short and just, like, really use smokes on pit to, you know, just get inside the site very quickly, or, you know, just faster-paced play, and it really hasn't been there. And now, this is the no respect from Immunity pushing down middle. It's Wizard, 2 kills. I mean, you talked about salt in the wound last round. This is just kicking it up a notch.
Taking a leaf out of Ty Lu's playbook with that aggression down mid. Now, they have lost Moe, but then Urkas from behind lands 2 headshots. Immunity 13-2. And again, we've talked about this a number of times. Everyone pulling their weight. Urkas on 18, but Burn UK's on 17. Right, there's nothing to distinguish between those 2 players. Whereas you look on Mongolz, no one's even close to breaking even.
Yeah, it's equal frag distribution in the worst kind of way, where everyone's down. You know what I mean? So, again, you can't really pin the blame on any one player. It's not like you have, like, an anchor on the team who's just really sinking you down, but no one is really lifting the team up. Again, they just didn't look themselves. They seem to get really lost, I guess. Like when they're taking some of these tactical timeouts, it seemed like they really couldn't come up with any type of adjustment that would really help them get through. I mean, short of Machine Gun winning a couple of early duels and getting his team a man advantage in a couple of rounds, which are some of the rounds they actually did wind up punching through, they didn't really have anything consistent to go towards. Like, yeah, sure, they got a control of apartments, but it felt like a lot of the time they got cut off of Banana early round, and they just didn't have anything mid to late round to go into. And so now, short of winning pistol here, I mean, this map's pretty much over.
Indeed, and even with the pistol, it may not be good enough. Sogu is at least going to get that first kill of what they hope is many. This is beautiful USP work. Finally, he will fall prey to the Glock. But the damage has been done. Is it going to be enough to knock Immunity out of the second pistol? Bomb's going to get planted. In fact, no, it won't. He comes off the plant to get the kill instead. And with so much time left, that fake really paying out dividends for Immunity.
Yeah, because now it gives them a potential post-plant 2v2 instead of a, you know, plant, maybe die, and that's all you get out the round.
Wizard's going to get the drop, and to make matters worse, Cabal ran out of bullets. Machine Gun caught in a very precarious position, and he just gets destroyed.
He got clotheslined, dog.
Straight up. A banana peel, it looked like. Just clotheslined out of his
I mean, Immunity
shoes.
played that 2-on-3 to perfection. I mean, they were thinking about, hey, we'll just get the plant and get the money at the very least. Let's make sure we at least get that into, nope, I'm going to fake it, get us into a 2v2. Now it's winnable. They played a great crossfire on the 2v1 in the end, ensuring that they'll get the kill on the bomb plant money as well. And I mean, this is just masterclass from Immunity. There's been nothing from Mongolz. There's nothing there in this map.
I can't help but feel, after getting battered the way they did by Tyloo earlier, the 16-4 loss, that they just realized, look, we've got to believe in ourselves.
Yeah, this feels good. Like,
Yeah.
if you're Immunity, you're just like, man, like, we're coasting through this. This is no problem.
For sure. Because they were very timid against Tyloo, and we saw how that worked out. They got destroyed. Now they're back into their natural habitat. Things going much better. Dobu's going to feel a bit hard done by about that kill. The second he looks away, Moe peeks him with an MP7. And we'll silence him. Sogu comes through with a deagle. The bomb still dropped way back on the T-steps. Immediately not taking any chances. Elsewhere, Wizard will silence yet another player. Urcast from above, leaving Sogu. And
let's not forget, this was Mongol's map pick. Like, they thought this was kind of the ace up their sleeve, so to speak. This was their best bet to get an early lead in the series, and they have just gotten absolutely wrecked. Like, I feel like I've been beating a dead horse, but that dead horse is Mongolz right now because they are just getting kicked all around Inferno. Hopefully things will be a little bit better on Overpass for them. I mean, they obviously did beat Immunity head-to-head earlier today on Overpass, 16-13, very tight game. It's a good map for them in general when you look at their online results with this lineup. So there's definitely still, room for redemption for Mongolz.
I do feel it's always dangerous, though, to play the same team on the same map twice, because they'll learn from the mistakes and ultimately how they lost.
Yep, true.
So even then, I'm thinking it was a close game. It was like, what, 16-13, I think? Overpass earlier?
Yep. This is awkward.
Oh, it's awkward for both sides. Both ran out of bullets at the same time. Fortunately for Burner UK, Urcast is there to help a brother out. And now Cabal may be able to land that nade plumb on the face of Wizard. 16-2, an anticlimactic first map, I think it's safe to say, from a match that we thought would be incredibly close. Anything but. And now Mongolz are on the very brink of being knocked out of this event.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even really much to analyze there. They're gonna be hard pressed on the desk to really have much to talk about. I mean, there was just nothing there from Mongolz throughout that entire game. Team wide, just not a good performance from them. It doesn't look like Mongolz. I think I pointed that out a couple times. They seem to play really timid on T side. They didn't really seem to stick to what their strengths are. They seem to really get bogged down, and they just couldn't find a way out of it. And that's just not Mongolz that I'm used to seeing. I'm used to seeing them be confident, explosive, make big plays. That just didn't happen for them here. Again, they have a chance on Overpass to still maybe force a third map in this series. They've proven they can beat Immunity on that map, and their record on the map's not too shabby. So I think this is where you just have to kind of put that aside, as hard as it is, and just kind of forget about it and just really focus on this next map. Not let this get to you. Just put forth the effort now to make sure that you get through the Overpass and you give yourself a chance in the series.
Yeah, I guess if we're looking at things in a very positive way, I mean, this is taking some serious silver linings from a very dark cloud overhead. At least Mongolz didn't make a mini comeback and get close then lose. Like, it was a blowout, it was done, and now we move to map 2. I'm going to head back to the desk where I think a very famous phrase from our very own Red Eye would be apt description for how that map just went.
You're not wrong. I was thinking about that when it came back. Pick Inferno, lose 16-2. Pretty damn brutal. Gents, break it down for me.
I'm entirely sure what to say, man.
Yeah,
Any funeral music there, production we could play?
It'd probably be more insightful. I mean, what can you say after that? That's an astonishing result. Let's put it into perspective. Right? That is the biggest win we've had of all the matches at this tournament so far, and they picked the map.
The Mongols got Mongoled, is what I'd say. But
like
It's just absurd. Where has that performance come from Immunity? Because everyone seemed to have been on point in that game too.
I say they need to have a more tactical approach. I guess no, respect is also a tactical approach to an extent. You know, you play very aggressively. You kind of don't give any room for your opponents to make plays. Mongolz only managed to plant twice in that whole half, and they got 2 rounds total in the game. That's got to be an issue right there. If you don't even get bomb plants, you're not near to winning a lot of the rounds, are you?
No, I mean, but just great performances all around. Right? Wizard here had a couple of great shots. Moy just locking down the bomb site. Burn just going absolutely ballistic the entire game as well. So,
yeah, they had 86 to 114 ADR between. That was the radius within that team. So it was a team effort. It was not one individual player just going ham. Everyone was chiming in. So, I mean, it's one of those days, one of those moments where Mongolz, I think Vince just he's correct with the one where it's good for Mongolz. They didn't mount a comeback, you know, and then feel
just get rid
deflated.
Of it.
Now instead you're just going to say like, hey, you know, shit happens. We move along. We're going to overpass. It's a map where they were very close from getting it. You know, it's a map where they have the opportunities for sure. It was close. Very, very, again, like a roll game of Counter-Strike, and they'll have their chance to win it if they just keep their head up, basically.
We picked one player out. The Mummy MVP for this particular game is Mr. Burn.
Are you okay?
Should we just call him the
7?
Mummy of the game?
Mummy again. Mummy! I don't think we can do that. 18 kills, 8 deaths, 5 assists, no trade kills because basically there was no trading to be done. 4 open kills, 2 clutches, and a retake.
That's actually funny. Impact rating that high, no trade kills.
Yeah, I mean, but he was just wrecking them. Not just Burn, like everyone had their moments, and they just beat Mongolz at their own game. They out-aimed them, out-dueled them. There's so many rounds we saw where multi-kills. I think it started with a pistol round on some of the CD side, a quad kill. I think it was for Burn in towards B. Like he got the first kill. He didn't fall back. He still played around the car area, the old car area. Got his kills. And Mongolz, I think they just went in with the same old mentality, like, hey, we're going to beat this guy just based on aim duels. If you look at the usage of utility, there was barely any usage of any utility, not using smokes. And even when they went for a tactical pause, when the money was looking pretty bad, they just went for a force buy, 4 Tech 9s and an AK. And I thought, hey, you might try something after going for a tactical pause instead of just went into the slaughter. And
yeah, it felt to me like there's no plan B, there's no plan C for the go-to because, I mean, there's certain ways to game map control in this map, and I've said it before. You go banana, you take it over. That's going to make it hard for your opponents to try to read the plays and what's coming up, and it gives you opportunities to do different kind of plays. And you can play explosive as well. You can do the classic good old 3-going apartments and just flying out that balcony. For example, you have one making noise in banana, one making some noise in middle. You know, there's a lot of different plays you can do, but it was just nothing really. They were just kind of running into a brick wall.
I'm not even sure that they had a plan A.
I think that's a solid point to be made, yeah. I'm
not sure on their own map.
I think their whole playbook which is missing.
I don't
maybe they can discover it in the break. Before we get to that break, however, why don't we check in with one of the players before they actually entered this tournament to get their thoughts on the tournament and a little bit more information about Mongolz. This is Cabal.
Double is such a